What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling incredible today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just one of a kind, Cancer, and it keeps us growing. Ooh. And for those of you who are new, I'm getting it together, Cancer. For those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an interesting journey. But Cancer, the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, wherever, Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based off our ruler here, the good old Moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, when she's going void, of course, just all of those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be fantastic, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems. Feeling lovely. Just good energy all around here, Cancer. Now, Cancer, the moon is still in Capricorn. And with the moon being in Capricorn, you know, we're still hustling. Oh, and we're hustling fast too, but we'll get to that in a minute. But, you know, we're still working hard. You know, Capricorn moon is a very that type of energy that if we need to get a lot of stuff done, this is the energy to work with. You know, this is the type to help you persevere and, you know, to push on through. And the moon is now moved from a last quarter into a waning crescent phase, or a balsamic moon. And with the waning crescent phase, you know, this is about meditating on what you want to get, you know, meditating on what you want to get started and what you want to manifest for the next lunar cycle, because we're getting closer, Cancer. A few more days here and we're going to be just just dreaming big. And lastly, the deck set I'm using. This one is the Wandering Moons Tarot deck, and it's a Chariot Friends exclusive. And then this one here is the Anatomy of a Witch Oracle deck. And I'll include links for these decks and other decks that I like using down in the description box below. So definitely check that out if you're interested, Cancer. But look at you, Cancer. Now we got, for the general energy of the day, we have the Eight of Wands. And this, I feel like, is an improvement from yesterday. You know, now we've, you know, maybe some of us, you know, I feel like maybe we found like our second wind. You know, maybe this has been something where I feel like maybe might have gotten some, hopefully we've gotten some good news that has maybe come in for us, or just that I just feel like that maybe something hopefully has happened for you where things have now started to get moving, Cancer. You know, maybe we were waiting on some news for, oh, I'm not sure, Cancer. Maybe we're waiting to hear about like test results. Maybe we're waiting to hear about if we got into, let's say if we submitted stuff for like school. Maybe we're waiting for application letters. Maybe we're waiting to hear back about like a job opportunity. Whatever it is, Cancer, you know, I feel like that things are starting to, at least starting to, you know, hopefully come in for you here. And if it feels like things haven't been, Cancer, you know, I feel like what are some things that you want to get started, you know? I feel like it's the Eight of Wands is good energy to just kind of explore and see, you know, what stuff do you want to get cooking up, you know? It's about picking an idea here and just kind of just launching it off and seeing where that energy takes you, you know? So if you've got something that you've been wanting to experiment with, you know, I say definitely check that out, Cancer. That's some cool energy to start off with. And you know, this would be good too for, you know, while we're still in this Capricorn energy. You know, this could be this wand that you're picking out here. This could be what we're picking next for the next lunar cycle, Cancer. So this is something that to keep in mind as well, you know. And you know, Cancer too, I hope that we know that when I'm talking about doing stuff for the lunar cycles, it doesn't even have to be something as big as like, oh, I want to start a new business, or, I'm looking for a new promotion. It could be something it could be something as small as like, maybe I want to remove dairy from my diet, or maybe I want to make more time for planting, working with gardening, or maybe I want to make some time for a YouTube channel, or whatever it is, Cancer. That's what the lunar cycles are. It doesn't have to be something just because when I'm talking explosive energy and think big, it's just big for you at this moment, Cancer. Don't let the pressure of the energy because I know, Cancer, that sometimes and this part way with my placements, when it seems just kind of, when I come across as like maybe overzealous or, just really passionate, it's just that, we're in this thing we're in this together, Cancer. I wouldn't tell you to do things that I wouldn't personally put into practice. And, seeing how things have been working out, where my life has been going, I would love to see, you doing the same type of stuff here in Cancer. It's going to be something where it's like, it's tricky, figuring out this thing. I initially started out, really having like a strong musical background here, and then, next thing you know, we've taken a stroll into tarot land here. Did I see that coming? Of course not, but it was one of those things, I gave it a shot, and here we are. I love it, and I feel like that's something that can happen for you, Cancer. It really can come up in the most unique of ways, but when it comes, I feel like it's going to be that thing that'll speak to you, Cancer. But now let's get to the next couple of cards here, which is going to be how we can work with this energy here. Oh, nice. I'm with that. Look at all this potential that you have here, Cancer. And that's how we can work with the energies here. This is Aquarius energy. And I feel like that whatever it is that you want to do, Cancer, whatever it is that you're cooking up, I feel like be innovative with this thing. Allow yourself to don't limit your potential, if that makes sense. I feel like when we think about something, when we get real excited, first it's like that initial rush, and then we can think about all the things that can go wrong. And it's like where it's good to have a plan for those things. Don't let that diminish the shine of what this thing is that you're getting ready to tackle, Cancer. That initial fear, it's to be expected. But once you get the ball rolling, I tell you, it's like you're gonna find that thing, Cancer. And it'll be that thing too that'll speak to you. That thing that you just inherently kind of reach out for. And I too, Cancer. I feel like when we think about the things that when I think about stuff that we want to do, and like think about stuff where like some possible stuff that may fulfill us, I feel like in order to get to where that is, Cancer, it's not as hard as you think. I feel like that if we don't, like for example, we don't know what we're doing, start just doing things that you love and just watch. As you start making space for that stuff, the universe is going to start introducing new things into your world, Cancer, things that you might not even thought about exploring before. But when it does, Cancer, you'll know it. It'll just be one of those, it's like a sudden burst of inspiration here. And I feel like that's going to be what's going to happen with you, Cancer, when we decide to pour our energies more into stuff like that, I say just go for it. Because too, Cancer, the Eight of Wands can be very quick energy. And I feel like too, if we channel those things, I feel about channeling the stuff that we want to do. When we do that, things start coming in fast for you like you wouldn't believe. The consistency might not be there at first, but when we start putting this stuff into practice, it's incredible what happens, and it just unlocks so much for you, Cancer. So just really something to think about when we're working with this energy. Let's see. Okay, we're keeping all that. All right, let's go, because I feel like that. Oh, yeah, but okay. Higher self has got a message for you, Cancer. We're getting spoiled today. One. We got the Fool here, Cancer, and this can be represented by Uranus energy, which is one of Aquarius's rulers. And the Fool energy is taking that leap of faith. You see this person here, they're not even sure where they're falling. They're just trusting that the universe has got their back. And I know that that can seem kind of scary at first, but it really does. When we follow our heart and does what makes us and goes for what makes us happy, Cancer, then that's what's going to what's the word I'm looking for? To permeate. It's going to permeate into your world here when we start doing those stuff. And I don't even mean as like doing it like as your main thing, Cancer. You know, you can still keep your like 9 to 5, but it could be to just pulling the trigger on some kind of little side thing on the side. And 2, Cancer, you know, who knows? Maybe when you explore this thing, these 9 of moons, this happiness, this fulfillment, this joy, may even come into a way that might even get into where you can incorporate it in your 9 to 5, or you might be able to leave it all together and go and pursue this thing more. But Cancer, I feel like that this is something that we don't want to just kind of charge, or how do I want to put this? I almost feel like that this is something that we don't want to almost overthink when it comes to finding our fulfillment. You know, more so listen to your heart here. Listen to the Queen of Moons. This is the Queen of Cups. This is one of our cards, Cancer. And I feel like that, and I love that these two kind of popped up together, you know. I feel like that, and you know what too, Cancer? I don't feel like it's just, you know, I more so feel like this King of Wands in reverse is to think about, like how I was kind of talking about yesterday when I was thinking about where we're channeling our energies. I'm not sure if that's something that I had mentioned, but evaluating when we're going throughout like let's say like our week, you know, where our energy is being channeled to and how that resonates with us. And if something's not resonating with us, maybe we can take that one thing out and then see if we can work something that does resonate with us in there, you know, replace that stuff, you know. And I feel like that if we start getting that into practice, Cancer, you're going to be an expert Queen of Cups in no time, you know. And keep in mind too, I don't know if I mentioned, these aren't gender specific readings, Cancer. You know, you are all Queen of Cups always. And King of Wands, because that's the beauty of duality. That's enough on that, Cancer. But yeah, I really do feel like that it is pouring your energy, or just breathing some more fun into your world, Cancer. Are we keeping those? Okay. But let's get into some challenges, Cancer. Let's see what are some challenges that may come up while working with this energy. Because it is too, Cancer. I understand where, oh, there's the moon. I understand, oh, and that's perfect. I understand that initial thought of, there's something about, I feel like when we think about pursuing something that we love, or I feel like that maybe some of us think like, you know, I'm just take it as it resonates, you know, or I'd be curious to even think, you know, or to hear, you know, when I think about like pursuing what you love, you know, because I do hope you understand, Cancer, that it's not like I'm saying that you drop everything that you're doing to do this, to do what your heart desire, but kind of, you know, it's in a weird place. I feel like we can do it responsibly, you know. I don't feel like that it's something to where if you're in a place, let's say we're retired, then do that. Absolutely do something, because like retirement for me, it's not just like, yeah, maybe you've been working for a long time and it's time to chill. Definitely get your relaxation time, but this is an opportune time for you, especially if you're retired, to do those things that maybe we didn't do back when we were in our 20s and 30s and 40, whatever, and when we were grinding and hustling. Now is the time to feed that child, you know, to allow them to create and to manifest and to do some really cool stuff, you know, and stop telling ourselves that we can't, you know, that it might be too late for some others, you know. I just think that when we think about doing that and being in our, because it's really, Cancer, when I'm talking about that, it's more than just even pursuing what you love. It's being yourself wholly, you know what I mean? It really is. It's like doing what you're called here to do, more than what society expects you to do. You know, I feel like the challenge is to, if we, you know, I'm not sure where your mindset might be, Cancer, but if we think that we can't be in our dreams and function in this realm, you know, like we can't do both, then that's got to change, because we absolutely can, you know. And it really is about, it's really, Cancer, it's trusting that the universe has got you, because there's so much abundance and we've talked about this, you know, there's so much abundance that is available to us. And this idea that there's not enough to go around is ridiculous. And we can, you know, because I you know, too, because I feel like, you know, maybe this makes me sound like maybe I'm like an idealist, or, you know, like just kind of like wishful thinking or whatnot, Cancer. But you know, when you just take a moment and just kind of look around and just seeing how many people aren't doing what they want to do, and they're aware of that, but we're still not doing it. It gets to a place that at some point it's just like, what are we doing? You know, and to like ask ourselves that, you know, what illusions have been cast upon us? You know, what are some ways that we've pigeonholed ourselves, in a sense? You know, this is like, you've diminished, like, I feel like we've diminished our potential here, our light, you know. We say that we don't have time to tap into our dreams, or that, you know, that it's not practical to do that, or, you know, that's for like, you know, the artsy fartsy and the hippies and whatnot. And it's just like, Cancer, it can be so much more, you know. This can be a whole other way that we can operate here. Are we keeping all these? Yeah, because now I'm getting heated up here, Cancer. No more burdens. First off, you know, some challenges. I feel like letting the burden of doing what we don't resonate with us go, because that affects how we feel, Cancer. We can't celebrate. We get into this place of that we'll never get to the finish line. You know, I feel like that you'll get to it'll be almost like a false win, in the sense. It's like, you know, I feel like the guiding star is just like, you know, if you achieve like your millions and you got like 10 cars, and then, you know, you got all the models and whatnot, then you're living a fulfilled life. But it's more than that, and I feel like that idea needs to change, Cancer. You know, I feel like that this is something that we've spent too long, you know, really celebrating this way of operating, and I feel like we really should get into this place, not just for us, Cancer, but for future generations, of showing them how to operate. You know, and I know this is kind of, when we started off, it's kind of taking a turn here, but it's too, you know, I think about when us being in Capricorn, in the moon in Capricorn. The moon is, or Capricorn energy, every time I do their sign reading, usually, you know, I'm talking about how they'll work themselves to the ground, and, you know, it's more so, I feel like their guiding force, the earth signs, have been dealt, or have been guided towards been fixated on the monetary, when their gifts can do so much more. And I feel like Capricorn, now I'm all in a different reading. I feel like Cancer, with the moon being in Capricorn, I feel like taking this energy, because we have the perk of being in every energy at certain points of time. And what better way to show people how to do it than to fixate on what makes us happy, you know, like really taking that Capricorn energy and channeling it towards that, as opposed to maybe what's, you know, what the norm deals as stable, and trying that, Cancer, and just see where that takes you, you know. Just something to think about here, Cancer. Let's get to your last card, which is going to be some advice, and then we're going to pull some oracle cards. But yeah, Cancer, I hope you know that this is not where I'm not trying to get like political or anything along those lines, or, you know, trying to stir up any type of feather shade, because let me tell you, Cancer, I do a lot of reading, and you see how I am with like technology and stuff. Do you really think I'm on the internet looking up news and things like that? I got astrology to learn here. We got abilities that we need to tap into, Cancer, because we're out of harmony. This is you like that transition? This is our last card here for some advice, is to get back in harmony, Cancer. This is another one of our cards, the Two of Moons. This is Venus in Cancer, and I feel like it's about nurturing our dreams here, Cancer. You got so much nurturing energy just with yourself and with this energy. You know, the Empress isn't here, but she's here in spirit always. And let me get a little serious. If this, Cancer, if we've been doing things where we've been feeling out of whack, or I'm just getting really with this. It's just like doing things that aren't, if we do things that aren't vibing with us, I just feel like we're not going to get the most out of this experience here, Cancer. And when I get on kicks like this, it really is just as a start, you know, to just think about incorporating something that's outside of work, you know, like it's something that's, you're not doing this to make money or get things, you know, we're just doing it to just express ourselves, to just breathe some fun into your life again, you know. Not that I don't think that you're not having fun, Cancer, but that you can do it where it's effortless, you know, where it's like we don't have to carve out like time for it. We're just in our element all the time. And the nice thing too, I feel like it's like when we're doing like our calling, it's like we're creating stuff, and then the energy or the universe gives back energy, and then it becomes this beautiful just like cycle that we're in, Cancer. Oh, so let's get into some oracle cards here, Cancer. Let's see what's going on here. Any more? Okay, Cancer. Let's switch back over here. Because first off, we got the Weaver card in reverse here. And this is what I'm always talking about, you know, it really just manifesting, creation, you know, any little thing, you know, if it's putting out, like maybe you put out little affirmations on social media. Hey, you know what? You see where I'm slacking on social media here. Help me pick up the slack. You know, if you're so you know, now that sounded like I was coming at you. If you know that you're very tech savvy, do some stuff on the internet. It can be something even as simple as that. Just little things to raise the vibrations. What else could you do, Cancer? I mean, like write little poems or something. You know, I remember seeing this little, oh, I'm not even sure. It almost looked like one of those containers that where you get like the, what are those called? The sidewalk libraries. It looked very much like that, but they had, it had in it like little poems of the week or something along those lines. It was really cute. You just open up and you take a little scroll little thing there, and it had like just this short little poem, and it was beautiful. You know, it was used to live in, where was that when that, I think it was when I was living in Washington. But yeah, just like things like that, Cancer. You know, I feel like when we start doing little things like that, it unlocks things in you that you wouldn't believe, because it's now we're putting out different types of signals out there for the universe, you know, than your normal mode of operating. And then just observe, Cancer, how things start to change. You know, it starts off small at first, but then it gets a little bit bigger, and then next thing you know, you're in your craft. You know, that's what I've been trying to get out. Just being in your craft and whatever that looks like, you know, and living that as fully and as genuinely as you possibly can, Cancer. And I really feel like that's how we get the most out of this energy here. You know, that's how we tap into eight of wands, and really, man. But yeah, Cancer, I think I'm gonna leave that there. So, whew, yeah, that was quite a reading there, Cancer. Got a little passionate there, but it does, you know, that type of stuff, you know, really being in what resonates with us. That really speaks what I'm trying to accomplish, doing these channels, getting people to understand their gifts, find out what resonates with them, and see how it manifests in this realm here, because it really is, it's amazing how unique it all comes, how unique it'll manifest. And then when we start collaborating, what amazingness happens there, the potential. And you know what too, Cancer? When we do get a chance as well, collaborate, because that's Aquarius's card. They are assigned, one of their things is about networking, and really they're about humanitarian goal. Like really, Aquarius, I've been coming at them, but in the best possible way, because it's just like all this potential, Cancer. And that's where I feel like too, maybe if this is something where we can maybe if we're I'm going to give you all the options, Cancer. I'm going to find a way to make this work for you. If we're thinking about family, because I get it. If we're like, I got kids to think about, got a husband, wife to keep track of, just like I'm split a bunch of different ways. Make it a family activity. Because one, that'll be good for just the adults to just to kind of just be in a place where they can express themselves. And two, to be, if your children we're all doing this together, then children. This Page of Swords energy, children bring that inspiration. Children are very much like it's page energy. Pages are that initial inspiration that just like, oh, I wonder if, oh my gosh, I had an idea. Oh, I wonder if, that's page energy. And I feel like if we have little ones, maybe that might help spark something in you while you're doing this. And who knows, that might inspire your little ones too, because now they're seeing a different example. They're not seeing, the parents just out working all the time. Now we're more so investing our time with our families, because I'm sure you love your job, but if you got a family and stuff too, I bet you wish that you can spend more time with them than you do with your work. So let's start doing that. Let's start making that happen, Cancer. Where are we? Did we like the video yet, Cancer? I think I just got back into your reading. Give this a thumbs up, Cancer, especially for the little bonus reading at the end there. Which, Cancer, I do it all the time, so whatever. And then share this thing, Cancer. It does. It makes me passionate talking about stuff like this, and I'll keep on. I'll keep Queen of Moons until we get. Wait, you're Nine of Moons. Until we start pursuing our happiness, Cancer, and get over these illusions. All this lunar energy, I love it. And if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that bell button. You'll get notified when I release videos each week. We've discussed the internet. I'm getting there. And hopefully you got my back there, Cancer. And then, lastly, I'm assuming you're here because you checked your sun. But if not, check your sun, your moon, your rising. Check your chart, Cancer. And then go check out my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do weekly videos there with different monthly themes. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping, down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here so I can get you out of here. Wow, look at that, Cancer. You got the Nine of Wands, and oh, I've got something to say about that. And then what else do we got? Oh, and then we have the Heal card in reverse. So let me start here because the energy is a little bit calmer. I'm going to talk about you in a minute. But with the Heal card. The Heal card for me, being in reverse, is that I feel like that it's, if we just in general, if we have some things that if we're doing some emotional healing, or if we're even doing some physical healing, making sure that we take time to do that. But I feel like on a more kind of intuitive side, Cancer, I feel like that this is about healing that inner creator inside of you, that manifester, that person who couldn't be told that they couldn't do something, that when it came to when they knew in their heart of hearts that this is what they're meant to do, no one could stop them. Like you were going to get your happiness. Because pay attention, Cancer. See how you pour your energy into stuff that you don't want to do. Imagine if you poured your energy into stuff that you actually like to do. It would be insane what would happen, because I think that you would have new energy. Because weren't we exhausted yesterday, Cancer? Now look, we're revitalized, because that's what doing doing things that resonates with us and listening to our bodies and listening to our hearts, head and heart kind of alignment here. That's how we get the energy to keep going, to keep persevering. And that's another thing too, Cancer. When you get this started, there may be times when even when you're feeling like in a crappy mood, express yourself, do some creativity, because here's the fun thing when it comes to that type of stuff. I've learned that even when you're not in the best mood, you can still create something. It's still, manifestation can happen. The creativity doesn't care where you're at emotionally. It just wants you to show up. And then when you show up, it's going to work. Higher self is going to work with you, Cancer, and believe that. It's just we just got to meet higher self halfway. So, all right, I guess I kept you here long enough, Cancer. This was a lengthy one, so I'll let you get out there so that we can start doing what we love, Cancer. I'll tell you that always. Always, as many times as we need to hear it. So, and I am still. I got some stuff, I was talking about some self-growth things that I'm doing. I'm still in the mix of doing something, but I think I am going to start. I've been low-key talking about it, but I just haven't explicitly been talking about what I've been working on yet. But don't worry, Cancer, it's all going to come together. But stay safe out there and just have fun manifesting. Cancer, you got so much moon energy. Just keep eyes on the moon, just lunar energy all over the place. And I will catch you on the next one tomorrow.